So, for the government shutdown that we're watching, was it intentional so that some things could happen behind the scenes? We don't know. There are people that are already stating that they assume other people are running the accounts of the perpetrators that we're talking about. I've said that forever, that someone can take over a Twitter account in 2 seconds, and that these people that we're seeing tweets from are no longer free. But I'm speculating because we don't know everybody. People want the truth, but then when you say you don't know, they get mad that you don't have answers that they're seeking. It's like we're not magic. We're just working at it and trying to figure it out. Everyone else should do the same instead of trying to depend on someone else for the answers. You should think for yourself, think what makes sense to you, go investigate all these things, and then come up with your own answers instead of trying to put that onto someone else. Part of this whole process, everybody, is so that everybody takes responsibility for their lives. And what we're seeing now with the government shutdown could actually be a smokescreen. When I did my interview with Michael Brown, he came up with maybe that there are people that can leave because the borders aren't as secure because they're not working. And that's completely possible. It's going to, when we come out of this, is when we're going to have our answers of who we see and who's not here anymore, and what they explain about their missing, where they are. The other thing is that they're flying around people, and this comes from Judicial Watch, that are DACA, and they're relocating them at our expense. So what's maddening and infuriating about this is not only did I get a document that said, and it was on James Woods, that said there might be 3.5 million instead of 800,000, but since they lie to us, everybody, we don't even know what the real number is. We know it's their voting base, but it might be far more than the 800,000 they're presenting, because it might be all the chain migration with their families, or they might even be lying about the original number. But their hysterical fit over this lets us understand that there's so much more than meets the eye, and that's what people need to wake up to. And so on Judicial Watch, they were saying they're moving them around, and we're like, moving them around on government dollars, and why? Are they hiding them, putting them in sanctuary cities, making it harder to find and deport them? I don't know. But everyone's awake and we're all working on it. And so at one point, all these things, as we continue to move into the future, are going to make more sense. People are so worried about everything, and we're all caring, and everybody, even if we're wrong, are trying to get to the right answers and make it make sense. And when someone doesn't give you all of the facts and all of the answers, and they're just tossing out bits and pieces, each one of us is going to interpret things in a different way. And even when people are wrong, everybody, it doesn't mean they're not truth tellers. It means they're trying to guess with what's in front of them and put it together. And people have handed me things that don't turn out to be correct. And at least they're trying. We're not magic. Nobody's trying to lie and deceive that works on my end. There are people that are just scared. And when some of the breadcrumbs are dark and negative and people are throwing them at us, they interpret them a certain way, and I tend to interpret things in a different way. What we need to do is continue to pull ourselves together and continue the march towards restoring the republic, claiming our country back, and every single piece of the Constitution and every amendment therein. And that's the message being heard loud and clear. And apparently there was an anti-Trump protest and only 60 people showed up. I'm like, whoa. And they need to stop covering these stories because they just look stupid to send a mainstream reporter like Fox or anybody out to a little a little scavenger hunt in a backyard We're only a few leftover breadcrumbs that don't like the news and they don't like our success of the country get together with a bunch of picket signs. I mean, they look so stupid. I couldn't stop laughing when I heard the number that like 60 people showed up. And it was so bad, the reporter didn't even really show it while it was live. So that tells you it was a dud. But everybody, nobody is going to put up with that anymore. And all the noise they make about all of this, it's so embarrassing. It's like, why are you sending a reporter there? You should have sent it to the White House celebrating our 1 year with our president. Thank you.